Hello, and thanks for joining me tonight. My name is Mike Tellerino. I am the CEO of K9 for Veterans. Tonight we've got two very special guests with me. I've got Bill Burns, who is a executive director of the Forgotten Warrior Memorial, and Dan Ricci, who recently became an executive director for the Forgotten Warrior Memorial. Bill, I'm going to start out with you. Bill, you were my guest a while ago. You're a few years back.
Right.
And that show was based on the memorial being completed and having your son's name added to the memorial. Bill, what has it meant for you, not only as a director of the memorial, but as a father of a fallen veteran who lost that battle to PTSD? Tell us what that memorial meant to you to have your son added.
Yeah, it's been a heartwarming and healing experience for myself, my family, and everyone to be involved with the K9s for Veterans and to get involved with the memorial itself and helping with the construction. But
Right.
to see my son's name added to the memorial gave us sense of being, knowing that his loss was not forgotten, and that people really recognize that veterans with PTSD have a fight that's an internal fight, and when they lose that battle, it doesn't make them any less of a soldier or a hero.
No, not at all.
But it gave us the sense of warmth that having his name there, that he was recognized for his service.
Finally. And Bill, that's one of the things that I'm really adamant about when we do have a ceremony, when we have an unveiling of the names, and we have the family there and stuff. It's a full-blown ceremony. It's a day to honor the fallen veterans as well as their family, to let them know. And again, let me say that the biggest takeaway from the ceremony on my part is that I want everybody to leave there knowing that these veterans who took their life, they need to be honored as true American heroes, because they are in every sense of the word.
Most definitely.
They gave their life, their service to our country. They're just not recognized for that because of the PTSD suicide. And that's a shame. And that's why this ceremony and the memorial means so much to us. Dan, I want to thank you, number one, for being here tonight. You got such a busy schedule with your businesses. Right. But Dan, you're a friend of Bill's and have been a friend of Bill, and I won't hold that against you. You've been a friend.
I won't either. But
you've been a friend to Bill and for a long time now.
Correct.
And going back on how you came on board with the Forgotten Warrior Memorial, I'm going to let Bill describe that. He could probably put it into better words than I can.
Yeah, Dan and I had grown up together at a ripe young age. We were 14 years old, and we grew up in the Boston area as friends, and did what young teenagers do back in those days. But we'd been friends for a long time through high school and everything, and then as life takes you different paths, we grow apart, and he went off and did his thing. Everybody gets married, moves away, does things. We finally reconnected a couple of years ago. It was a blessing. We'd been kind of looking for each other, and my wife actually found him on LinkedIn. I was able to track him down, and we connected. But he came out to visit me a little over a year ago, and I was telling him, about my son Josh, and what happened in the memorial and what the memorial meant to us, and
Sure.
He thought it was. Very heartwarming, and something that he was interested in, wanting to help out with the memorial and help veterans. So, he decided to come on board and, help us and assist us with a lighting project.
Tell us about the lighting project.
Yeah, the lighting project, we had that in the works, and I had talked to Dan about it, and so we were doing a fundraiser, trying to raise the funds to put in LED lighting to light up the memorial at night and light up the flags. And when I talked to him about it, he thought about it for a while. We met for that week, and he went back home to where he lives in Florida. And he called me a week later, and he says, he goes, "How can I help? What can I do?" And he offered to help us out and fund the lighting project. It's phenomenal.
Amazing. And when you came to me and said, I got this guy, he's a good friend of mine, he wants to make a donation to pay for the lighting, because the lighting changed the whole presence of the memorial. It just brought it to life. It really did.
Yeah.
Not that it wasn't beautiful before, but those lights just made it simply amazing to look at, in the evening hours when you'd go there and see the lights lighting up the headstones and stuff. Next thing was, you talked to him.
Yeah, well, that was last year, and then he, started getting more involved, and he's him and his family and his company are very
His
generous.
company is
L13 MCS South.
Okay.
And they donate to a lot of different programs and non-for-profits, and wanted to offer to continue to help us out if there was anything we needed. And we were talking about doing a paver project.
Which is a big project.
Yeah, a huge project to put in pavers at the memorial, because we were looking to make the memorial handicap accessible, because we had gravel there, and it was difficult for people that were in wheelchairs or handicapped to be able to get in and see the
Even
memorial.
on crutches.
Right. So talked to him about that, and we got a quote on doing it. And again, he came forward and said that he wanted to help us fund that project. It was just unbelievable. It's just been unbelievable. His company, and his family are a blessing to us, and to all our veterans, and the respect that we're seeing from that is tenfold. It's phenomenal, and I thank Dan, his family, and everybody for it. It means a lot to not just my family, but all the veterans on the Forgotten War Memorial and their families. It's tremendous.
It just dressed it up so much, and when you look at it, it looks like it belongs in Washington. That's how amazing to me it looks, and everybody that comes there says the same thing. And those pavers, that was the finishing touch. So Dan, when you came forward and said, "Hey, I could do," and it wasn't cheap. Let me just say that it was a substantial amount of money to put those pavers in.
Right.
And Dan, you didn't hesitate. You stepped right up and said, And when we wanted to lessen the cost by using a cheaper brick for the pavers, because we were worried. I mean, the donation was great. But when you've got someone doing what you did for us, you don't want to feel like you're taking advantage of them. Yeah. So when we came by with a less expensive brick paver for the memorial, and we told you, "Oh no, we're not doing it that way. We're doing it right, or we're not doing it."
Yeah.
It's myself, and Bill talks about my company and my wife. We believe the same thing you two believe, and what the memorial is about is these poor soldiers are forgotten. And we wanted to be able to make it, like you're saying, where it should be in Washington, in the state. And it really should be. And when I said about the pavers, I do construction for a living.
Right.
And the whole idea is, you spend a little bit more money, you get a better product, and you're going to be happier longer down the line. I've seen a lot of clients, and even myself over the years, where I went for the lesser and I wasn't happy with it, and I ended up replacing it later down the line. So I said to Bill, no, you can't do that. Go with this paper. Well, it costs, 50% more. And I'm like, okay. So I sent you a check, to pay for it. But it was the right thing to do for the soldiers. And again, we believe in the same thing.
And if it would have stopped there, I would have said, well, God, what more can one person do for us and stuff? Then you called me on the phone, and you were interested in providing service dog, and I thought one dog to a veteran.
Yeah.
And anything Dan does, I guess it just isn't something small. You got to do it big, or you don't get involved with it. Yeah. So you said, you'd like to sponsor 2 service dogs.
Amazing.
And, when I got that call, I thought, oh my God, how amazing. We're going to help 2 more veterans at the next presentation, which you're going to come in with your wife, and you both are going to hand off that dog to the veteran. And tell us the names of those, and why'd you come up with those names?
One of the dogs is Walter, which was my father's name. My father served in the Korean War, and he was a veteran. He fought. He also never spoke about the war. He found out more. Right. He won't say anything about it. So I wanted to carry on his legacy and make it live longer. He passed away about 9 years ago, 10 years ago. My mother-in-law, the other dog is Isabel, which was named after my mother-in-law, because to me she was a hero raising 6 kids, by herself. And again, it's the legacy to live on. The nice thing was to be able to help 2 of the soldiers and let them, and hopefully, that they live that way and not part of the statistics that you have out there. And that's
22 a day.
22 a day, and hopefully it won't be, by being able to do it. I just thought it was, my wife and I talked, we talk about everything. She's my partner in the business. And we talk about everything, and we both looked at each other and said, let's do it. So that's why I called you and said, I want to do it.
When I called these 2 veterans and told them that we had a sponsor for their service dog to be presented to them, they were just beside themselves. I mean, these service dogs mean so much to our veterans that receive them.
Right.
We're proud to say that of all the veterans that we've had in our program, we haven't lost one to PTSD suicide. That is such an epidemic today. It really is. And, we're just not doing enough for them. I know the VA is stretched to their limits and they do what they can, but these service dogs are a total game changer for our veterans. They really are.
Absolutely.
It gives them a sense of purpose. And by that I mean, when we get out of the military, we're so used to being told what to do, when to do it, how to do it, why we're doing it, that we forget how to do anything on our own because we're so used to being that robot that's going to just do what we're told.
Regiment.
That when we come home, we don't have that sense of purpose anymore. Mm-hmm. These service dogs provide that sense of purpose because now, you can't lay in bed all day with your PTSD and say, I'm just going to lay here all day and just, zone out. You have to get up, take care of that dog, feed that dog, walk the dog, groom the dog.
And it gets them out.
It gets them out.
And, and that's the biggest thing. And again, I didn't have the honor of serving because I was between Vietnam and the first Iraq War. So I was kind of born in between, those times at peacetime. But I can see what happened when my dad and his twin brother and just friends that have come back that I know, what they have gone through in the regiment that they were used to. So, we wanted to give back, and part of the presentation is going to be my wife and I are going to donate my mother's dog, my mother-in-law's dog, to one of the soldiers. And then I have my sister coming, her and I are going to do the dog for my father.
Nice.
And present the dog. Because, it's a legacy. But the biggest thing is helping these soldiers. Because, again, they don't get enough of what they should have.
And that's the service dog presentation. That's the night that we make it all about the veteran.
Absolutely.
It's not about K9. It's not about the memorial. It's not about anything other than giving them a night to be honored, a night that they should have received when they came home, but were never awarded that opportunity to be acknowledged for their service to our country. These veterans fight a battle every single day of the week. They really do. And, it's something that you just don't walk away from easily.
Right. And attending the ceremonies is so heartwarming. And if it doesn't bring a tear to your eye, something's wrong. Because I've been to a few of the ceremonies and had an opportunity to present a service dog myself, and it leaves a warm feeling. But to see the veteran receive the service dog,
the look on their face,
it is so heartwarming and exciting. It's like their best friend just walked into their life.
There's not a dry eye in the house. You see this big 6'2" big guy, and you walk in and you present them that dog, and they know this dog is theirs.
It's amazing.
Well, you're going to see me doing the same thing. So I need a box of Kleenex. I get emotional when things like that. My wife teases me sometimes, but I get emotional with it because it's passion that you have to do what you guys do every single day and every week. That's why I was honored to be on the board with you guys. You know what I mean? To sit down and be part and hear what things are doing and how they're going.
We've got such a great board now. We really do.
Yeah. It was great last night at the meeting. So
yeah, we had a great board meeting last night. And, the ceremony that we have for the service dog presentation, I'm really proud of that because I can see what it's doing for these veterans. For the Forgotten Warrior Memorial, by the way, which is located in Shanahan State Park, Shanahan, Illinois, the ceremony that we work on to put on for the families that are attending, it's an amazing ceremony. It's what the families, I mean, they can't believe that finally somebody is honoring their child and their loss, because really nobody does that for our veterans who commit suicide.
No.
It's like, it's unspoken,
Yeah, and to see their loved one's name engraved at the memorial is.
And I think it just reminds them that, so at least somebody hasn't forgotten my child and knows what my loss is, So
Absolutely.
that's why the ceremony. We have a bagpipe player, as you know. We have playing dual taps there. We have a blessing of the memorial. We have the family come up and unveil the name on the back of the memorial. At the end of the ceremony, we present them with a flag in a case with their son's name on it. It's the least we could do. And Bill, you are basically the caretaker of the Forgotten Warrior Memorial. You make sure that that's in ship shape when we have a ceremony there, because we want it to be pristine when those families come out and to be at the ceremony.
Yeah.
So thank you for always being there for our veterans in the memorial.
No, it's my honor.
It's just an amazing gift that we try to give to these families, because, like I said, there's nothing for them at all.
And we do have a great group of volunteers, and I want to mention them as well too.
Yes,
Between
we do.
K9s and the memorial, we have a great group of people that support us and are there for our events, or whether it be a memorial ceremony or a fundraiser event. We do have a good core group of volunteers that are fantastic people, and we can't do it without them. We're all a team working on this together.
It's two separate entities. The Forgotten Warrior Memorial is one 50c3, and the K9 is a separate 501c3. But we act as one. We're there for each other's organization. Our volunteers will volunteer for the memorial. The memorial people will come and volunteer for our K9 events. It's just, because it's for the same purpose of honoring either the veterans or the veterans' families.
Right, and for some people that don't know, the Forgotten Warrior Memorial was born through K9s for Veterans and Mike Tellerino's idea, if you want to elaborate on that. But when I first joined as a volunteer, it was K9s, and they were in the process of building it, and to see that come to fruition and create that space to recognize those veterans. But at the same time, we have K9s for Veterans that's saving veterans and hopefully reducing the number of names we put on the memorial, because the program does so well saving service members.
7 years ago, Ricci, who is my vice president, who you know, she's the co-founder. When I had the idea, I should say, when we had the idea of making the Forgotten War Memorial a reality, never did Reggie or I think that it would turn into what it is today. When we were coming up with the blueprints for it, I thought, well, if I can't go big, I want to go home.
Right.
Because these veterans need to be honored. I don't want some little makeshift memorial that, you're going to just look at and go, oh, yeah, it's nice. When you come to the memorial, I want people to drop their jaw and say, and Reggie, she's, I come up with a lot of great ideas. Reggie's the one that sees them through. Behind every good man is a better woman, and that's Reggie Latuca.
Most definitely, we all know that.
So,
But that's how I feel, Mike and Bill. If you're going to do it right. Make it big for these guys. And it's critical. You can't donate enough to help everybody, but you try to help as much as you can.
Right.
And to me, I'll sponsor whatever projects you guys come up with. I told you that last night.
That's what scares me.
No, it's a great cause, and I've always, and I've said to Bill, and the main reason how I got involved, again, as Bill mentioned earlier, was me going out to dinner with Bill and being friends for almost 5 decades. You know what I mean? We've known each other, and that's what brought more compassion. Over the years, my wife and I have always donated to things, $50 here, 100, whatever we could, to different things every year. My company sets up a certain amount every year, the last 2 years, and says, this is what I'm going to donate. And then I pick where we want to put them. We don't know where we're going to do it. I just put a fund and say, this is what I'm going to do. And that's what I said to you yesterday. Is there's money in there to do it. You know what I mean? It's only August.
You've been a blessing to the Forgotten Warrior Memorial and to the families, because when they come out, and I'm going to tell you, when they come out and they see how beautiful that memorial is.
It absolutely is.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I was just given the 5-minute warning. I hate that.
It was fast.
Yeah. But, again, your company, L13.
L13 MCS South, we're a construction management.
What an amazing company to do what you're doing and put our veterans first to help them like you're doing. What a great company, what a great person you are. Your wife has to be a great person to put up with you too.
She sure is. She sure is. And the funny thing is, coming out of Florida, you know what I mean? So I come out and travel and see Bill and go down and see the memorial and things. So I'll be here for both the presentation and the ceremony.
We're counting on
that. So we'll be here for you.
And Bill, I can't thank you enough. I know your son is honored on the memorial, so I know your heart's in the right place. But you go above and beyond with this memorial. You really do. I can't thank you enough. Whenever I got an issue with the memorial, I go, Bill. Am I right?
It's my honor, though. I wanna make sure, as Dan said, to honor all our veterans. Absolutely. And to bring the awareness too, that everybody knows that PTSD is a terrible affliction, and we're still continue to lose veterans all the time.
22 a day, Bill. That's 22 many.
So if any people out there are listening, if you do get the opportunity to visit, I highly recommend you visit the memorial. And if you could attend any of our ceremonies for K9s for veterans, it would be fantastic.
They can go to our Facebook page. It's the letter K, the number 9, the letter S, the letter D as in David.org. That's our website. And you could find us on the Facebook page, K9s for Veterans, and also the Forgotten Warrior Memorial. Please check out both pages.
Absolutely.
And again, guys, Dan, I don't even know what to say to you anymore. No. Thank you is just not enough for what you've done for the memorial.
Again,
and
it's
for
my
K9.
honor. It's my honor.
And Bill, same thing with you. I could thank you every day, but like I said, anytime there's an issue that needs to be addressed at the memorial, you're the go-to person. So God bless both of you guys for your continued support of the memorial and K9.
Well, bless you as well, Mike, for everything you do for K9s, the veterans, and
we're a family
for bringing this all together. So
we're a family now. We really are. And these families that come to honor their son or daughter at the memorial, I just feel it's the least we could do for them. We can't do nothing for the veterans who took their life. But let's honor these families and let them know that their son or daughter will never be forgotten. And their loss is felt by everyone and should be felt by everyone. So with that, I want to say good night and thank you for joining us tonight. We'll be back here the second Thursday of next month, and we'll hopefully have a great show. Thank you guys, and God bless you for being here tonight.
Thank you.